Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the Tanya Takeover, where I'm your girl Tanya. Today we are going to be talking about how to build a successful brand. Now, I don't know if you guys know this or if you're following me on Instagram, but my brand, my fashion brand, got chosen to walk in New York Fashion Week 2024. Yes, this has been a long time in the making, guys. Me and my business partner have been working on this clothing brand for about 5 years now, but we finally made it and we got discovered by New York Fashion Week. This is big. I mean, I'm really excited about all the opportunities that it can bring, but it all started with building a brand, something that we were known for. And guys, we don't have lots of followers, but we were consistent with our brand message, the things we were showing, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Now, whether you have a hair salon and you want celebrity clients, or you are a nail technician, or you sell hair, I mean, guys, it's all about branding. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people go towards hair, nails, clothes, but there's so many other businesses. I had daycares, you know, brick and mortar retail. Want to start up event planning. Whatever business that you are starting or planning, it all comes down to branding. So let's get into it. On my channel, we talk about beauty, fashion, finance, the trifecta. Can't have one without the other. So if that's something that you might be interested in, consider hitting that like and subscribe button down below. Let's get started. First things first, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say something a little bit uncomfortable that a lot of you may not be ready or willing to hear, but building a successful brand first comes down to mindset. And when I say mindset, I mean you might have to let go of a few people to get where you want to go. I say all that to say people aren't always going to believe in your brand. People aren't going to believe that this business that you have, and it's usually the people that are closest to you that aren't going to believe in your dream, okay? They've never been there, they never took the risk, they never tried, and they're just happy in what they are in, what they are around, their everyday routine. And now you're coming in with this new idea like, oh, I want to have this business and I want to do this, I want to do that. You're gonna get some side eyes, okay?
Who does she think she is, thinking she could quit her job to go follow her brand? That's stupid. Who's gonna want to buy your hair when there's so many hair vendors?
You gotta let go of a few people. You gotta change your mindset because you have to be in it to win it, okay? Nobody's gonna hand you anything. Nobody's going to say, you know, oh, good girl, you know, give you a pat on your shoulder. You have to be your own support team. You have to be your own cheerleader. And you have to be able to separate yourself from people who aren't going anywhere. And you know those people, when you have like an idea for a business and instead of you inspiring them to do better, they're kind of pulling you down like, girl, let's not worry about work today. Let's just go out and have fun. Let's just go for drinks and try to talk to these guys or whatever it is. They don't want to talk business, okay? They don't want to go anywhere, and people like that are going to drag you down. So it's really all about mindset. How far do you want to go with this brand? What are you willing to sacrifice for this brand? And are you all in on your brand? So I think mindset is the biggest thing. And when I was starting my brand, there was a whole lot of people I had to let go of. I remember somebody had once told me I was working diligently on my brand, my business, building it up. And they came to me and they're like, oh, you're not going out this weekend either? You know, in order to be around us, you got to be a certain way. Girl, what? You know where that person is? Probably still where they were when I left them. You have to be willing to separate yourself. If this is a new business, you're going to go all in on it for the next year, 2 years, 3 years, and don't get discouraged by these stories of people who are making it in 9 months, 10 months, a year, whatever. I'm now seeing the benefits and it's 5 years later. You have to be in it for the long haul. And I'm never gonna lie to you guys and say, you know, every day was great, every day was booming, every day I woke up motivated. You know, sometimes I was like, you know, my mindset was playing tricks on me, like maybe this isn't it for me, maybe, you know, we don't want to work on this, maybe we should change our angle, maybe we should. Be in it to win it. And that's how you're going to build a successful brand. You have to put your all into it. You can't half-ass it, guys. You have to go for the gusto or you're not going to see the benefits. So the first thing I would definitely say is to work on your mindset. Write down what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve it, when you're trying to get there by, and go all in on your dream. Next thing, when building a brand, I would say to look at yourself as a consultant. Look at yourself as someone people come to learn something. If people are coming to you for that one thing, that thing that you are the most skilled in, the most knowledgeable in, what are the questions they're going to have? What are they going to come to you for? What do they want to learn from you, okay? If you go to a business consultant, right? What do you want to ask them? How to start a business. Okay, so if you have a clothing line, you know, how to dress my child. What should they be wearing? What kind of fabrics move best for different activities? What sizes do they wear? You are a consultant, okay? What does your audience want to get from you? What can you teach them? What can you advise them on? Tips can you give them? As a consultant, you are going to become an expert in your niche. Now, you don't have to have thousands of followers, guys. My business started with like 2,000 followers, and we're in New York Fashion Week. But you know what? Now that we got picked up for that, all these opportunities are coming to us, and it's like, okay, wait, what are we doing? Okay, people are asking us questions. They want to know, how do you style this? How do you choose your fabrics? You know, photographers are asking, how do I get involved with you guys? I always wanted to start a kids line. How do I go about starting it? As a consultant for your business, what can you show your audience? And put it for any business that you're starting. When I started a daycare, people would always come and ask, how did you start a daycare? How many kids do you need? How do you train your teachers? What books do you need to learn how to do it? You know, things like that. What are you teaching the kids? How do you get a curriculum? These are what you are known for, and then you build on that brand. This is your brand, okay? Make sure that your brand is who you are. Guys, some people come into a business and they don't know who they are. They don't know how they should be speaking to their audience. And I've been there personally. Like, I don't know, should I be teaching something where I'm learning still in the process? But as that business consultant, as that consultant in the fashion industry or children's fashion industry, or that consultant in whatever your niche is, you would be surprised on how much you actually know. Even starting here, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how to decide on this fabric between this fabric. But when you think back into how many times I've actually picked out fabric, how many times I've had to go to photo shoots, how many times I've had to alter or have the tailor alter, I know more than I think, okay? And that's why people are coming to you. You're supposed to be that middle ground who teaches them how to run a fashion industry, how to do hair, how to become a nail tech, how did you start your business. People are inherently selfish. They want you to consult them. They want to learn from you. So give them what they're asking for, and that's how you're going to start your brand. People are going to start knowing you for exactly what you are teaching them, and they're going to keep coming, and they're going to keep asking. And then when they're out with their friends, they're going to be like, oh, you know, did you look up this person? This person shows you how to... And that's how you start building your brand, okay? So don't feel like you have to come in, you have 50 followers and nobody's watching. Been there, done that, guys. I would just say go for it and make sure you are keeping your audience in mind. The next thing I would definitely say to do is to show your audience who you are. That means, I'm sorry to say, posting. And this is where there's a kind of a disconnect, but you have to post every single day. And as someone who misses a few days, this is a hard part, okay? But you have to. Your audience has to know who you are, okay? Are you the expert in your niche? Are you the one that's going to teach them how to be a nail technician? Are you the person who's going to teach them how to start daycare centers? Or are you the person that's their friend next door who's figuring it out as they're figuring it out? Do you have maybe a knowledge, or are you the friend, you know, are you their friend online that they can come to when they want to know a question? Or, oh my gosh, I love how her makeup looks. Let me go in there and see how she does this makeup look. I love how she curls her hair. Let me see how she curls it, or how Tanya does this. You have to figure out who you are and your brand voice. You could be the friend next door. You could be the expert that they go to learn something. You could be their motivational speaker. Whatever it may be, make sure you are being authentic to you and you keep conveying that on an everyday basis. Show them some behind the scenes clip. I'm trying to figure out how to build this brand or this business. Let me show you guys some things that I'm working on. Let me show you guys some ideas. Or use poll questions. How are you showing them? You know, ask them for their input, their advice. You have to be that person that they go to for information, the person they go to feel better, the person they go to hear something motivational, whatever that may be. Make sure you are that person. This can be shown in a lot of different ways, but that's the main reason why people are starting Instagram or TikTok. There's really no way around a social media presence because that is your billboard. That is what shows who you are, what you stand for, your likes, your passions, and people want to tune into that person. They don't want to buy from somebody that they've never seen, or are they going to buy from you who they keep seeing, who's selling maybe the same thing that another person's selling, but they know you. They know your dog's name is Willow. They know that, you know, you like cooking on weekends. You make sure to do Sunday dinner. They know that, you know, you start businesses and you love figuring it out with people, and, you know, you don't claim to be an expert, but you know, you're willing to show what you learned. Okay, so these are just some things on how you're going to build your brand and what you want your brand to stand for. And this is a lot, guys. You have to really think about it, because this is going to follow you all around. Okay, when I first started my daycares, I never thought I would go into clothing, but somehow it all worked together, because now when people see me and my business partner, they know us for having children around us. They know us for being the girls who, you know, educates the kids. And of course they want to, you know, inspire the kids. And then they want to dress the kids so they feel more confident out in public. Things like that is all going to build part of your brand. And I didn't even know this when I was starting, but people are always asking, like, if a child gets sick or one of my friends gets sick, I'm the person they come to when they want to figure out what to give them. And it all starts from our nursing background. So everything kind of plays together, because this is your brand. This is who you are. And it took me a while to figure that out. It took me years to figure that out, actually. But now that I've figured it out, like what people are constantly asking you for, what advice are people constantly asking you about, you're going to realize that you might already have a brand started. You might be already known for something, but you just haven't honed into it. So tonight I want you guys to take the time out to write down, what are people constantly asking you for advice about? Are you the person that when you guys go out, are you always the one that's dressed to the T? Is your hair always laid? Are they constantly asking you know, what did you put in your hair? Oh my gosh, you smell so good. What are you wearing? If those are the kind of questions that you're constantly getting, and you're thinking about starting a brand or a business, think about incorporating that. Think about incorporating like pillars into what you're trying to sell, right? So if you want to do event planning, of course you're going to start planning events and your name's going to start going out there. And eventually people are going to start asking questions like, oh, do you know a good caterer? How did you make that balloon arch? What colors would go? And soon you're going to realize that you became that consultant that we talked about in number 2. And you're going to become the person that they go to. And make sure that whatever you're pushing out, teach them something. Bring value, provide value. Even if you're learning as you go and you're just teaching them, tell them, be honest, be authentic to yourself. You guys know I'm not an expert, but I'm going to show you guys what I learned on the way, so you guys don't make the same mistakes, okay? And people are going to appreciate that about you and keep coming back to you for more. And before you know it, whatever business that you started is going to start selling itself before you even really get started. So the next thing I would definitely say to do is concentrate on your brand colors, your brand voice, your brand personality. By this I mean, are you happy and cheerful? Is your page bright and happy? Is it like, you know, all bright pinks and blues and happiness and sunshines showing, you know, like, you know how you go on somebody's Instagram page and it's all pink and girly and you get a vibe for they're pink and girly, they're gonna like bows, they're gonna like Stanley cups in pink, they're gonna like going out and doing girly things? Or is your brand message more in depth, you know, more deep colored? You know, is it more serious? Is it a more serious brand? These are things that you have to pay attention to when building your brand. Also, your brand voice. Is your brand voice more serious, like you're building your story off of a failure that happened in the past? Or is it more encouraging, like, okay, you want to be a millionaire, this is how we can be millionaires together? You know, what is it that your brand stands for? And I think that's a very important part that you fail to show, especially in the beginning, because you don't know where to start, right? So think about it. Start asking yourself questions on what you want to be known by. Do you want to be known for, you know, your aesthetics? Unfortunately, we're still in a time where aesthetics are kind of relatively important. Myself, I'm kind of tired of the whole aesthetic phase. You know, I'm sorry, everywhere I go isn't white with like the right amount of neutrals. It's just not there. So My brand message, I want more to be relatable. I want you guys to see me cleaning the kitchen or cleaning my tub out or doing laundry and my room is a mess, but I'm getting business done. You know, I'm still handling mine, but this is the reality of what I do. You just have to realize, you know, what aesthetic you're going for. And by aesthetic, I don't always mean like colors or the cleanliness or whatever it is. I'm talking about what you want to be known for. You want to be the relatable person. I mean, people are right now on social media are really getting in depth with their lives. They're really showing the nitty gritty because not everybody wants to show you when they make it. And I think that's where a lot of disconnect is. People are showing when you've made it to the top. What do you do once you've been successful? What do you do after you get, you know, where you need to go and you're on the other side? If I had to do it all again, I would show me in a, you know, 2-bedroom apartment with me and my friend eating ramens. You know, I want you guys to see all that. I can tell you the story, but nothing relates more or hones into a person's emotional connection more than seeing it for themselves. So I think that's another reason why, you know, putting yourself out there and showing your story, showing where you started is so important, and it all starts with your brand voice. Now, I'm going to tell you my story, and it's going to be, you know, inspirational. People are going to find inspiration. There are billions of people in the world, and if you think you're the only person going through what you are going through currently, you're wrong. If you think you're the only person who's sitting on YouTube thinking about how they want to build a brand and how they want to start a business, and they have kids running around, bills overdue, you know, credit cards maxed out, you are not alone, boo. You are not alone. You are not the only person who's been there. So why not document it and bring out your camera right now and show this, right? Because in a few years from now, we're not going to be in the same situation. We're going to be in a bigger, better place. But people are going to get to know you now because you're going to be more relatable now. A lot of these influencers who are showing these Lamborghinis and these G-Wagons, where did this stuff come from? Right? How did they get there? What did they go through? A lot of people that I see are the most successful started off where we are now. Started off in their bedroom without an idea of where they wanted to go, you know? They knew they wanted to be successful. They knew they wanted to make it, but they didn't have any clue on how to get there. And right now is when you're most relatable. So don't feel like you have to wait for your brand voice to be perfect. Your brand voice is what it is right now at this very moment because people want to see your story. People want to tune in to the Tanya show. People want to tune in to the makings of a daycare center owner, the makings of a hair salon owner. They want to see it right now so they can relate and go on the journey with you. And right now is a perfect time to start showing them. And if you are shy or you don't want to go on camera or show all of that, there's so many different ways to show your life without showing your face and being plastered all over everywhere. I mean, honestly, if I could, you know, do without this part, I would. But in order for me to teach you, I have to put myself out there, and that's the only way we're going to learn and grow together. So I think that's an important thing, is making sure that your brand voice goes with what you're going through. Making sure if it's encouraging, you know, you're encouraging each other, like these ramens are the best, get the chicken, whatever it may be. Encourage them, show them, you know, think about it, think about where you stand, where you want to be known for, what you want your brand message to be, and go from there. And I think that's the most important part of branding that people are missing. And like I said, I was missing it for years, guys, but we're in this together. And to see that, you know, this fashion brand that we created, like my friend and I created off of just an idea of wanting to get out of like a bad lease with our business owner, started from here. I'm still in shock about it, but I had to get on here and show you guys because I want you guys with me on the journey and seeing my struggles and the things that we're going through, because I think that makes for an awesome message. I think it makes for a relatable story, and I think it's so important. So that is my idea on how to build a successful brand, and I think a lot of people can learn from it. I think there's so much to be said, and stop waiting for perfect to happen. Perfect's not going to happen. It's going to be right here when you're in the midst of it, and this is what people want to see. So as always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe at the bottom. I hope you guys got something from this. Let's talk about it in the comments. Let's talk about branding. Like, what do you want your brand message to be? What do you want to get out of your purpose? You know, what is your purpose? What is your passion? Let's discuss it down in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.